Good evening. My name is Joseph Gugi. I am one of the co-founders of Pre-PT Grind, which is a pre-physical therapy platform that is meant to help you as a pre-PT get into PT school without wasting time or money. Tonight's topic was actually inspired by a conversation that I had last night with a good friend of mine and also student in season 5 of the Accepted System, which is starting this week, so we're super excited. But as we were talking, we were doing a video call, and literally as we were talking, I was answering one of his questions, and I was like, yo, I need to share that with pre-PTs in the pre-doc page. What's up, Jabari? How you doing, brother? So tonight, I would like to share that with you. Really, what I want to talk to you about tonight, and it's going to be a very short but very clear and important live stream, is the real reason why pre-PTs don't get into PT school. And we've said it in different ways, but tonight I want to hit it. And there's 5 questions that I'm going to lay out for you that I want you to literally look in the mirror as a pre-PT and ask yourself. Because the reason why this group even exists. Anthony, what's up? How you doing? Michael, good to see you. Alexa, good to see you. The real reason why this platform even exists is because, in our heart of hearts, we genuinely believe that if you're a pre-PT, this is our baseline message. If you are a pre-PT and if you desire to be a physical therapist, you can actually get in. If you're a pre-PT, 1.8 GPA right now, doesn't matter. 2.5 GPA, doesn't matter. You just got a combined 275 on your GRE, doesn't matter. We just generally believe that as a pre-PT, wherever you are at, if you desire to become a physical therapist and you're like, that's my career, there's nothing else that's replacing it, you can actually do it. Now, our job is to help you get there. Is that okay? Is that okay? If you guys are watching live, comment #TeamLive. If you're watching this on replay, comment #TeamReplay. But that's it. Sarah, what's up? How you doing? How you doing? And so tonight, I want to talk about the elephant in the room because a lot of you are applying right now. And if you're applying currently, feel free to let me know in the comments that, hey, that's me, Joseph. But the elephant in the room, it really is based off of people getting rejected or accepted. That's really why we're panicking. That's probably why you're watching our live streams. That's probably why you listen to our podcast, which is good. But it's all of us. As pre-PTs, we all have the same fear. Now, some are a little stronger than others because of different things. GRE practice not looking good, freaking out, tests in 2 weeks. Man, Michael, reach out to us, bro. But that's exactly why I want to talk about this. Because as a pre-PT, we start panicking when because think about it. You get in your head and you start thinking, shoot, there's a lot of other applicants. There's a lot of people in my class applying. Maybe it's people I'm seeing online that are killing it. They have higher GPAs. Maybe they're not struggling with the GRE. And then we start putting ourselves in the position where we start saying, shoot, maybe it's not meant for me. I know I love it. I know that I can't really see myself doing something else, but should I have a plan B? And this is it's a rabbit hole that we just don't want to go down. If y'all are okay with me sharing with you guys the topic for tonight and a few key questions, that's all I'm here to do. And then I gotta eat supper because I went and worked out, and now I literally did calls when I came back. I'm hungry, so I'm gonna do this live training and then I'm gonna go eat with my wife and then play with my puppy. But if you guys are okay with me sharing that, say it's cool, it's okay, share with us, Joseph. Because Casey and mine's purpose and our platform's purpose is just to make sure that y'all are equipped. My biggest thing is that y'all don't do what I'm about to share with you in just a few seconds. Is that okay? Is that cool? Is that cool, Alexa? Shamaria, how you doing? Brianna, how are you doing? Good to have you guys join me live. Here's the bottom line of tonight's message. The real reason, and I'm going to say it, don't say, oh, okay, easy. No. I'm going to go into it, and you guys need to hear this. The real reason, I don't care if it's GRE, I don't care if it's GPA, I don't care if it's any other field. The real reason why pre-PTs don't get into PT school is because they quit. Come on, Joseph, what do you mean they quit? I can't control my GRE. I can't control getting rejected a few times. I can't control, what do you mean, Joe? No. I'll break it down for you because like this is at the baseline of what I need you to understand as a pre-PT. Like if you're applying right now and you're like freaking out, if you've applied multiple times before and this is your second go round, your third go round, your fourth, some people it's their fifth go round. Like don't panic, but just understand this baseline thing, and then I want to list out some key questions that I literally want y'all to ask yourselves, like real, because right, like tonight's about being real. Tonight I'm not gonna just hype you up for no, like I want y'all to just be transparent. Because if we're not transparent with ourselves, then that's exactly what we'll do. We will quit. Sometimes I like to ask myself, like, what's my buyout? What's my buyout from choosing to do something else other than PT? Is it 2 rejections? Is it 3? Is it 5 times taking the GRE and not scoring above a 300? Is it retaking anatomy 2-3 times? What is it? What's your buyout? So let's talk about it. The real reason why pre-PTs do not get into PT school is because they quit. It's that simple. Don't let anyone tell you any different. Don't let your advisor tell you that it's because of GP. No. It's because they quit. Because for the first time, I have never seen so many pre-PTs that are getting in with all the things that we were taught or like not possible to get in with. Like low GPAs, like low GRE, like all of it. Like this is like the first time I've ever seen this many pre-PTs still getting accepted into PT school. So it begs the question, why pull the plug? Because at some point you have to decide, like if you're deciding to choose a different career path, there's a certain point where you have to decide, I'm going to choose something else. What's the real reason? Sarah, Judy, how you guys doing? So let's go down to it. The real reason is because pre-PTs, like the ones that don't get in, is just because they end up quitting. The ones that never get in. So first question, you have to ask yourself this one, and I want y'all to write it below. Like comment this below just to make sure that like it's like a teacher-student kind of night. So comment this below. First question is, what will really stop me from getting accepted? Like, what will really stop me from getting accepted? As I'm sharing each of these 5 questions, I want you to write them down just so I know, all right, Joseph, we're internalizing it, because I really want you to be, like, ask yourself this question tonight. And I have 4 more, but what will really stop you from getting accepted? So just ask yourself, what will really stop me from getting accepted? Because at the end of the day, remember I said, the real reason why pre-PTs don't get into PT school is because they quit. So it begs the question, what will really stop you from getting accepted? Okay, Sarah said myself. So is it yourself? Is it the program? Will the PT program prevent you from getting accepted? Is it fate? Is it fate? Maybe it's fate. Maybe you believe that it's fate that PT might not be for me, even though I felt so strongly about it. So will that be what stops you? Do they have something against you? Like is that what will stop you? You have like sometimes we have to just break things down because it makes it so much easier to just process and just be 100 transparent with ourselves as applicants and as human beings. I have to ask myself these questions like with other areas of my life, but as pre-PTs, what will really stop me from getting accepted? Because if you can give me an answer that is something that is like beyond your control, then well, okay, let's have a conversation. Is it the school? Well, there are programs that are a match for you. Is it the retakes? Well, there are ways to retake classes and actually like I sucked at chemistry and physics. Like I say this all the time. Like chemistry and physics were when my children have to take chemistry and physics in the future, I'm getting them a tutor. Cause I just like my Lord, like it gave me hernias. Like but because I was so locked in on becoming a physical therapist, I had 2 tutors for each. So is it your classes? Is it a timeline? Do you believe that because you're 28, 29, 30, 31, like maybe that's what will stop you? Maybe that's it. What if I told you that there's people in their 40s getting into physical therapy school and changing their career path? So you have to ask yourself, if the biggest reason why, what's up, Andrew? Let's get it, Fred. Like, if the real reason why pre-PTs are not getting into PT school is because they quit, then we have to ask ourselves, what leads to that? So the first question tonight was, what will really stop me from getting accepted? So in the comments, what I'll have you guys do is, when I say a question, just write the question down. Like, write it. So just comment below, what will really stop me from getting accepted? Let's go to question number 2. Who am I afraid to disappoint? Y'all, we are getting real tonight because I'm hungry, and when I'm hungry, I'm focused, and when I'm focused, I just speak truth. So the second question we have to ask ourselves is, who am I afraid to disappoint? Who are you afraid to disappoint? Jared, how you doing? Is it yourself? Are you afraid to disappoint yourself? Family, co-workers, close friends? Is it the school? Maybe you're afraid to disappoint the school. Maybe you're afraid that when you walk in for an interview and you get a rejection, you're disappointing them. I don't know. Who are you afraid to disappoint? Y'all, those that are joining us live right now, what we're talking about tonight is the real reason why pre-PTs don't get into PT school. And if you guys can understand, like, this might be one of the most important lives that I've done in a while. Like, if you guys can understand this part, then if you can understand that it's simply because they quit, the real reason why they don't get because I'm not saying that it's like some of y'all might get in after 2 tries. Like that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, for pre-PTs that literally will never become physical therapists, at some point they had to quit. So the real reason must be that they quit. We have to ask ourselves why. And what are the questions that we can ask ourselves now to help shift our mindset as applicants to literally change how we're playing this whole game? Sarah says, my husband who believes in me. Cool. So, like, that's someone you may be afraid to disappoint. The first question for those that just showed up is, what will really stop me from getting accepted? The second question is, who am I afraid to disappoint? Now, when it comes to that second question, this is probably one of the more personal ones, because there are close people that have invested in us, whether it's our families, whether it's our significant others, spouses, maybe mentors that you're afraid to disappoint. But the quicker we can start detaching ourselves from that responsibility, the better. If you're afraid to disappoint yourself, you have to realize that the only way you disappoint yourself is if you pull the plug entirely. If this is really your dream, that's how you disappoint yourself. The only way you're going to disappoint your husband is if you pull the plug. Like, really. It's funny. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever had this experience. Angelica says insecurities, worries, and then afraid of being rejected again. Yeah. Like one thing that I realized recently is my story is my family did not want me to be a physical therapist. I'm just gonna say that straight up. If someone in my family's watching this, what's up? How y'all doing? But that's the truth. So my mom actually, my parents are amazing, y'all. So don't think negatively about them. They're amazing people. But they didn't think PT was like the best route to go. In my family, being a doctor, an engineer, we're a spiritual family, so a pastor or a lawyer was just seen as that's what you should be. So physical therapist was like odd. It's like, why? Like, you can be better. And I was like y'all don't understand. Like that's like what I'm passionate about. Like, I love, what's up, Jack? How you doing? Like, I love being a PT. And so I remember having a conversation with my mother, and the way I convinced her, and I've said this before, is that I said it's a doctorate. So it was more of a status thing, right? Down the line, so my biggest fear was man, I'm not even getting support from my family. And I was afraid of disappointing them. So even when I was struggling during my second year of PT school, I was like, shoot, now my parents literally didn't even want me to do this. They thought this was me lowballing it, and then I'm still not going to make it through PT school. So I was afraid of disappointing them, but I had to detach myself from that. As of right now, Like my mother is hella proud of me for being a physical therapist because they understand what I really do now. So you can't be so attached to disappointing somebody else because the only way you will is if you quit. The only way I would have ever disappointed my mom is if I just never did anything. Because she would have said, that's potential. Like, she knows I'm within my purpose. She knows I'm within, like, everything I desire right now. And she loves it. She's like, yeah, you go right ahead. Like, she's like ultra cheerleader. And even for the people that are closest to you that you're afraid to disappoint, they will feel the same way. In the moment, it might not feel quite like that, but you have to detach yourself from the disappointment, potential disappointment of whether or not you get in this cycle, whether or not you pass the GRE this time, because it will actually hold you back. It will literally throw off how you play this whole thing. So you'll play a very desperate application game, and you won't actually have a chance to really be you. So, like I said, those of y'all joining live tonight, we're talking about the real reason why pre-PTs get rejected. Well, the real reason why pre-PTs don't get into PT school is because they quit. First question that we have to ask ourselves was, what will really stop me from getting accepted? Ask yourself that real question. Like, what will really, not like what I think was, like, what will really stop me? And the honest truth is nothing. Yes, like insecurities. So we have to ask ourselves, like, if it's insecurities, like, how do we alleviate that? Who are we, like, what's causing them? Are those insecurities coming from other experiences that we've had? Like, we just have to start getting real, super transparent with ourselves. Because those are the things that we carry on. And then ultimately what they become is they become the excuses that we use to say, you know what, maybe PT is not for me anymore. And literally all I want y'all to do is tonight, I want y'all to realize that if this is what you want, hold on tight. Hold on tight. And as you're asking yourself these questions, you need to be asking yourself, okay, if that's what I believe will really stop me from getting into PT school, what do I have to do to change that? Number two, the question was, who am I afraid to disappoint? If who I'm afraid to disappoint is slowing me down, how can I change that? How can I change my mindset based off of who I'm afraid to let down? How can I change my, literally right now, I'm literally playing a game where I'm just not afraid of, I don't really care. I felt so free recently because with pre-PT grind, with what I do as a physical therapist, with what I do as a husband, I don't feel like I'm going to disappoint anybody. And even if I do, it doesn't matter. Eventually, they're going to see that, I'm within my purpose. Third question. What do I interpret success to be as a pre-PT? The third question you have to ask yourself. What do I interpret success to be? Oh, man, we are going in tonight. What do I interpret success to be as a pre-PT? Do I interpret success as getting in on my first shot? Do I interpret success as maybe just getting into some kind of a profession, whether it's PT or not? I just need the satisfaction of knowing that I succeeded in getting some postgraduate degree. Y'all, I'm being real tonight. I'm not cutting it. I'm not cutting corners tonight. Do I interpret success as not disappointing my parents? Because that goes back to point 2. Do I interpret success as not failing? Do I interpret success as not getting a lower GRE score than I had desired? As in, I get a 300 or above or whatever I wanted. That's success. Maybe your interpretation of success is preventing you from actually succeeding. Have you thought about that? Maybe your fear of not getting in on the first shot is actually preventing you from taking the actions that would let you do that. And even if it doesn't, what? You're going to pull the plug on the profession? If you're 25 years old, how bad? I just want y'all to think a little differently. If you have to apply twice, is that painful? Yes. But one thing I'm starting to realize is this. Like, one thing I'm starting to realize is that, and I don't mean to get like spiritual, but like when we have been like anointed for something, when we have been given this realization that we're meant to do something, the journey to the, like, what I call the appointing, or the journey to the conclusion or the fulfillment of that, like, sometimes is not exactly what you expected. Which means that the process might be a lot bumpier than you wanted. Now, do we want that? No. Like, I want something smooth, Joseph. I want all my grades to go the way I desire them to be. I want to get interviews from all 5 schools that I apply to. I want to get accepted at all 5 schools. But the honest truth is, every single one of you has been placed on this journey for a very unique reason. My frustrations and my struggles have allowed me to have the passion I have today to serve you. Casey's struggles and his passion, like, in the moment, did he feel like it was going to help him serve other pre-PTs? Heck no. He was just like, man, dang, like what? Like, he was just like it was just painful. But have you ever stopped to think that your purpose or your point is just to figure out how you can get to the actualization of you becoming a doctor of physical therapy student, and not letting the in-between throw you off? It might be preparing you to be the best version of yourself as a PT student. You struggling on the GRE might be your moment to literally stretch yourself in a way that will prepare you to handle the intensity of classes in PT school. The past rejection you had has taught you how to be resilient. Have you interpreted it that way? Or are you just looking at it as like, woe is me? Are you victimizing yourself? If you desire to be a physical therapist and you feel like that's what you've been called to do, stop seeing yourself as a victim. It's just an unwritten story. And the only part you can control is the decisions you make until you get to where you're going to get to anyway, unless you quit. Like I said, tonight, the real reason why pre-PTs don't get into PT school is because they quit. So what do you interpret success to be? Be real with yourself. Like, I'm not playing. Like, be real with yourself. Number 4, what am I actively doing to prevent myself from choosing to quit? What am I actively doing? It's great, Joseph. Thank you for this live stream, Joseph. But no. Like, what am I actively doing every single day to prevent myself from quitting? I just had a call with somebody that was telling me, like, Joseph, like, how do you stay focused when like crap hits the fan? And I listed out a few key things that I do. And part of that is the circle I have. I have a select circle. Like, it doesn't matter. Listen, like, we've gotten messages from people that are like, oh, y'all are just scam artists. Like, listen, when I even spend my time on a lovely evening serving y'all, giving my heart to y'all, if I was a scam artist, hell nah. Like, I'd be playing with my dog. And so, like, my biggest thing is, like, I know people are going to say hurtful things, but I don't really care because I have my people. So I know that, like, the things that are going to prevent me from ever quitting are my circle. So who do you have? Like, do you have certain people that you have in your life that you're saying, these are my key people that I'm going to use every time I feel like pulling the plug? What's your process? Sometimes I really just, like, you have to also assess your habits. What are you doing to keep yourself locked in? Who do you need to block out? What do you need to block out? So really ask yourself, what am I actively doing to prevent myself from choosing to quit? Quitting is a choice. And the last question you have to ask yourself is, am I playing the same movie over and over and expecting a different result? Joseph, I took my GRE, it didn't go as well. So I went back and did the same thing. I just studied more. Then the second time it didn't go as well, Joseph, and so I did it again. Like, are you playing the same movie? Maybe I got rejected last cycle, so this cycle I'll just do a little more of the same, or what everyone else is doing, playing the same movie. Maybe it's your habits, that you're just repeating the same unhealthy habits. Maybe it's how you handle your stress. Maybe that's your movie that you're playing over and over again, rather than actually figuring out how to, like, in a healthy way take care of yourself. Maybe it's when you're stressed and you're saying, you know what, let me just like drown this out. Like I'll just get drunk and just every night I'll just like maybe all my woes will go away, and then you wake up and realize it's the same problems. Am I playing the same movie over and over and expecting a different result? Tonight I want y'all to be real transparent with yourselves. I'm doing this out of love, y'all, because I don't want you to quit. I don't want you to pull the plug. I don't want you to even, like, will you consider it some days? Yeah, because some days are harder. But I don't want you to actually do it. That's the only way you can guarantee that you won't get into PT school. And I'll even add a bonus one. How resourceful are you? There's so much out there. There's this group. I mean, I know we have our coaching program, the accepted system. I know there's probably local mentors that you might have there. Like, how resourceful are you? It's there. Like, you can't even tell me that it's not there. You can't tell me that there's never been a time in history where pre-PTs have had access to so much stuff. So what's it gonna be? Are you gonna get into PT school? It's up to you. I can tell you how to guarantee that you don't, though. It's by pulling the plug. But before you even consider doing that, ask yourself these 5 questions. Number 1, what will really stop me from getting accepted? Like, what will really stop me? And whatever it is, how can I combat that? 2, who am I afraid to disappoint? How are you going to reinterpret that and start realizing that you really can't disappoint anybody unless you actually do quit? What do I interpret success to be as a pre-PT? That's number 3. Number 4, what am I actively doing to prevent myself from choosing to quit? And number 5, am I playing the same movie over and over and expecting a different result? That's what I want to share with y'all tonight. Because I believe in y'all so much. I don't like, and I know like it's hard. It's hard to sometimes see the end of the tunnel, especially when there's been so much piling up, and when there's so many voices at home, and when there's so much pain attached to it. But every amazing story. Sorry, a lot of stories have pain. Everyone's story has some level of pain. But the stories that we all look up to are the people that were able to figure out how to navigate through that. They were resourceful, resilient, even when they themselves didn't feel like they could be. They had people around them that picked them up. And you have to start saying, like, well, if success leaves clues, how am I doing that for myself? If I really want to be a physical therapist, am I willing to do all that? And if you are, then it's only a matter of time before I call you a colleague and welcome you into our amazing profession. We need people who are resilient. We need people who are willing to fight hard for what they want. We need people who are not going to be shaken by the fear of disappointment. We need people who interpret success as the resilience to pursue and pursue and pursue until a goal is achieved. We need people who just don't choose to pull the plug ever. And we need people who are willing to do things differently to get an amazing result. So ask yourself, are you doing that? Let's get it. Y'all have an amazing rest of your evening. Much love. We're always here to serve you. I just wanted to just pour into your lives a little bit tonight. If you guys have any questions, if you're stuck, just feel free to hit us up. Go to contactpreptgrind.com. We'd be more than happy to serve you. But enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. Many blessings. That's it. That's all I got for tonight.